Hey guys, this is Vikash for Skyline Motions, and in this tutorial, let's create this nice and simple text animation inside of DaVinci Resolve 16 that you can use as a title intro for your project. So without any further ado, let's take a new project and get started. Alright, so click on this new project and let's call it title and click on create. And we have to do some basic settings, so click on this setting button and set the size of this project 1920 by 1080. Let's go with 30 frame per second and set this playback frame rate 30 and click on save. And in this case, I'm going to create a motion graphics without using any media content inside of this Fusion page. So we have to take a new Fusion composition. So just go ahead and right click on this media pool and click on this new Fusion composition and let's call it Fusion Comp and set it 5-second long frame rate 30 and click on create. And drag this Fusion comp on the timeline like this and then go to your Fusion page. And here we have media out, so just drag this media out to the side for now and let's take a background node. So click on this background button and drag this background to the viewer, hit F2 on the keyboard and let's call it busy for background and hit OK. And now let's create a square, a stroke animation. So we have to take a paint node. So select this background, hit Ctrl plus a space bar for search box and search for paint node. And select this paint, hit add button and drag this paint to the viewer, hit F2 on the keyboard and let's call it a square. Hit OK and now select this square and set the size of this window like this and select this polyline stroke and right click on this preview window and go to guide and turn on this guide for a reference and hit Ctrl and scroll up to zoom in and go to the center of this guide and right click on that and go to polyline stroke, polyline and go to create and create a rectangle. Hit OK and click on fit button and go to this inspector window and close this apply control because we don't need it and open this brush control and select this hard square brush and set the thickness of this stroke something around 0.008 and hit enter and close this brush control and open this stroke control and set the size of this square something around 1.2, hit enter. And now let's animate this end property. So just go to on frame number 60, which is equal to 2 seconds according to 30 fps and right click on end, click on animate, or you can also click on this diamond button to create a keyframe and go to very beginning of this animation and set this end value 0. And now let's play this. And as you can see, we have a very basic animation. So let's make a smooth animation. So just go to a spline window, hit F4 to full screen and minimize this square and check this square and click on fit button and select these both keyframes, hit S to smooth and set the CTI at frame number 0 and hold this handle and set it like this and close this spline window and go to very beginning and let's play this again. And as you can see, it's looking much more better. All right, and now let's add a transform node after this square. So select this square, add a transform node, drag this transform to the viewer, hit F2 on the keyboard and let's call it rotation. Hit OK and select this rotation and let's animate this angle property, or you can also animate the angle property inside of this stroke control, but I have noticed a pixelation problem on it. That's why I'm using a different transform node to animate this angle property. So set it to default and select this rotation and go to on frame number 60, which is equal to 2 seconds, and right click on angle, click on animate and go to very beginning of this animation at frame number 0 and set this angle value -90 degree, hit enter and let's play this. And as you can see, we have a very basic rotation. So go to spline window, hit F4 to full screen and minimize this rotation. And this time check this rotation only and click on fit button. Select these both keyframes, hit S to smooth and go to very beginning of this animation at frame number 0 and hold this handle and just set it like this and create a nice smooth curve and close this spline window. And let's play this again. Alright, so it's looking nice as you can see. And now I want to make this black background transparent. So select this background and go to this inspector window and here is alpha. So set this alpha value 0 and make this black background transparent. Alright, and now click on fit button and let's play this again. And we get this type of output as you can see. And now let's create a text. So click on this T button and add a text node and drag this text to the viewer and let's type your first line. So I'm typing create and select your favorite font style. So in this case I'm using this Century Gothic, which is my favorite font style, and set it to regular and set the size of this text 0.15, hit enter. And now go to this H anchor and set it to left and align this text on left side. And now let's take one more text. So click on this T button and add one more text for second line and just drag this text to the viewer and let's type your second line, whatever you want to type. So I'm typing something. And now select your favorite font style. So in this case I'm using this Go Bold font style and I have given a link in the description for this. So go to the link and download this Go Bold font style if you want and set it to regular and set the size of this font style 0.15, hit enter and let's align it to left like this by clicking on this H anchor left button and let's type one more line. So click on this text button and drag this text 3 to the viewer and let's type your third line. So I'm typing new and in this case I'm using this Open Sans and set it to extra bold and set the size like this and let's align this in left side like this. And now let's increase the size of this flow window and right click on this flow window, go to arrange tool and turn on this grid snapping and let's snap these nodes on the grid and arrange it like this. All right, and now let's merge all the text. So take a merge node and connect this yellow background point with this text and green foreground point with this text too and drag this merge 1 to the viewer. And now let's take one more merge. So just connect this yellow point with this and green point with this and drag this merge 2 to the viewer. All right, and now let's arrange these text. So select this text 1 and just drag it over and leave this text 2 as it is and select this third one and just drag it down and set it like this. Hold control and scroll up to zoom in and select this third text and let's down the size a bit and just set it like this and select this first text and just set it over here. And now let's add a transform node after this merge 2. So select this merge 2 and click on this transform button to add a transform node and drag this transform to the viewer. Hit F2 on the keyboard and let's call it text control. Hit OK and now let's merge these both outputs. So connect the output of this text control with this rotation and drag this merge 3 to the viewer. All right, and now select this text control and let's down the size a bit and just set it over here inside of this square like this. And now we have to animate the text. So go to on frame number 120, which is equal to 4 seconds according to 30 fps, and select this text 1 and go to this layout and let's animate this position. So right click on center, click on animate or you can also click on this diamond button to create a keyframe, and do the same thing for all the text nodes. So select this text 2 and go to layout and right click on center, click on animate, and select this third one and go to layout and right click on center, click on animate. All right, and then go to 3 second back in time on frame number 30, which is equal to 1 second, and just select this third text and just drag this text outside of this square box like this, and select the second one and just drag this text outside of this box like this, and select this first and just drag it like this, and go to very beginning and let's play this again. And as you can see, we have a very basic animation. So go to a spline window, hit F4 to full screen, and let's minimize all the nodes and uncheck this rotation and check this text 1, text 2 and text 3 together, and click on fit button and select all these keyframes and click on this smooth button and go to very beginning of this animation at frame number 30 and hold this point and create a nice smooth curve like this, and hold the second point and just drag it like this, and just drag this third one and set it like this. All right, and now let's play this again. It's looking nice, but as you can see, all the lines coming in the box together, so I want to create a time gap between these three lines. So just uncheck these three nodes first and check this text 1 and click on fit button, and as you can see, it's a start from frame number 30. So go to 10 frame forward in time at frame number 40 and leave this text 1 as it is, and check this text 2 and click on fit button, select these keyframes, hold this point and hold shift on the keyboard and just drag it on frame number 40 and go to 10 frame forward in time and uncheck this text 2 and do the same thing for text 3. So check this text 3 and click on fit button and select these keyframes, hold this point and hold shift on the keyboard and just drag it on frame number 50. Basically create a time gap of 10 frame between these three lines, and close this spline window and go to very beginning of this animation and let's play this. All right, so it's looking nice. And let me tell you guys, you can create a single text node instead of these three different text node, and you can get same result with character label styling, but you can't animate each line with different timing, and that is not easy to customize also. So that's why I'm using three different text node, as you can see. And now I don't want to show the text outside of this square box, so take a rectangle mask and drag it over here and attach this rectangle 1 with this text 2, and let's create a rectangular shape according to this square box like this, and just set it over here. And now connect the output of this rectangle 1 with this text 3 and connect the output of this rectangle 1 with this text 1 also. All right, and then go to very beginning and let's play this again. All right, so it's looking nice. And now let's take a background node. So click on this background button, hit F2 on the keyboard and let's call it color. Hit OK and just drag this color to the viewer and pick a different color for now. And now let's take a merge node. So click on this merge button and take a merge node and connect this yellow background point with this merge 3 and green foreground point with this color, and drag this merge 4 to the viewer. And hold Alt and click over here to create a junction for better node arrangement, and just select this color and add a rectangle mask with this. So click on this rectangle button and just drag it over here and create a nice square box and set it over here and set this corner radius something around 0.6, hit enter. All right, and just select this rectangle and click on this rectangle button to add another rectangle mask, and select this mask and just down the size a bit and set it over here, and set this corner radius 0.6, hit enter and go to this paint mode and change this merge to subtract, and just set it over here and select this rectangle 3 and shade it like this. And now I want to place this red color shape inside of this white section, so just select this merge 4 and go to this inspector window and go to operator and change this over to in, and we get this type of output here. And let's take one more merge, so click on this merge button and connect this yellow background point with the output of this merge 3, and connect this green foreground point with the output of this merge 4, and drag this merge 5 to the viewer and hold alt and create a junction for better node arrangement. And now select this color and let's add a transform node after this color, so click on this transform button, hit F2 on the keyboard and let's call it color control. And now select this color control, go to the end of this animation and let's animate this angle, so set this angle something around -75 degree, hit enter and right click on angle, click on animate and go to very beginning of this animation and just set this angle value -375, hit enter. All right, and we have a very basic and linear animation, so go to spline window, hit F4 to full screen and uncheck this text 3 and check this color control only and click on fit button, select this keyframe, hit S to smooth, or you can also click on this smooth button and set the CTI over here at frame number 0, hold this handle and just set it like this and close this spline window and let's play this. And as you can see, it's looking like this. All right, and now go to the end of this animation and click on this double viewer and drag this color to the viewer and select this rectangle 2 and just set it like this, and select this rectangle 3 and just rotate it like this and place it over here. All right, and now go to very beginning of this animation and let's play this again. And now click on this single viewer and let's create a gradient color, so select this color and go to this inspector window and change this type solid color to gradient and pick a nice gradient color, so pick this point and pick this sky blue color and pick this point also and pick a green color for now. All right, and now just set this gradient point over here and set this gradient point over here, and it's looking like this. All right, and now let's create a duplicate of this color, so select this, hit Ctrl C to copy and hit Ctrl V to paste, and let's take a merge node, so click on this merge button and connect this yellow background point with this color and green foreground point with this merge 5. All right, and select this both node and drag it over. And now let's create a scale animation for the text, so we have to add a transform node after this merge 5, so select this merge 5 and click on this transform button, hit F2 on the keyboard and let's call it a scale animation. Hit OK and go to the end of this animation and set the size of this whole text 0.8, hit enter and just drag it to the viewer and right click on size, click on animate and go to very beginning of this animation and set this to default. All right, and as you can see, we have a scale animation on it. And finally drag this merge 6 to the viewer and it's looking like this, and we have to add a rectangle mask with this color, so select this color 1 and add a rectangle mask with this, place it over here and let's set this width value something around 1.5, hit enter and set this height value 1 and hit enter and set this angle rotation 15 degree, hit enter and it's looking like this. And now check this box invert and we get this kind of effect. All right, and now let's animate this rectangle 4. So go to the end of this animation and right click on angle, click on animate, and go to very beginning of this animation and set this angle value 20 degree and hit enter. All right, and it's looking like this, as you can see. And let me tell you guys, whenever we want to change the color of this text animation, then we have to change in both the color node, which is very difficult. So what we have to do, we have to use an instance copy instead of the normal copy. So just delete it and select this color, hit Ctrl C to copy and right click on that and paste a instance copy. And let's attach this rectangle as it is and connect this yellow point with this. And now you can easily change the color, as you can see. All right, and finally we have to add a drop shadow effect after this merge 6. So select this merge 6, hit Ctrl plus a space bar for search box and search for drop shadow and add a drop shadow effect and drag this drop shadow to the viewer, hit F2 on the keyboard and let's call it shadow. Hit OK and select this shadow and let's do some adjustment with this. So just set this drop distance 0 and set it like this. And now let's create a background. So take a background node, drag this background to the viewer and let's pick a nice gray color. And now let's merge it. So take a background node and connect this yellow background point with this background and green foreground point with this shadow and drag this merge 7 to the viewer. And finally we have to connect media out with our main output. So just connect this media out with this merge 7 like this and then go to your edit tab, and as you can see our text animation is ready for render. So go to very beginning of this animation and click on this loop button and let's play this animation. Alright, so it's looking nice, and that's all for this tutorial guys. I hope you like it. If you like it, then hit the subscribe button and click on the bell icon to get notified when I will upload my new video, and I will see you in next tutorial. Till then, bye bye.